We'll talk about the introduction of Dharai. Sad means blocking or restricting, while Dharai is a plural of Zari'ah, which signifies the means of obtaining its ends. There are three different scholars gave different opinions, which are Al-Shatibi, Al-Karafi, and Muhammad Isham Al-Burhani. For Al-Shatibi, elucidates Dharai as using the path of ways of goodness in order to prevent harmful things from happening, while according to Muhammad Isham Al-Burhani, Dharai is something that is initially unprohibited, but when the elements in it could harm, it becomes prohibited. While for Al-Karafi states that Dharai is a compulsory method to close down any evil means for the purpose of preventing it. It's necessary to know the differences between Dharai and preliminary, which known as Muqaddimah. Muqaddimah means the former that will result the later. For example, committing adultery is the Muqaddimah to intermix of lineage, where without adultery, intermix of lineage will not occur. This shows that every kind of act that could initiate bad implications must be blocked from the beginning by not committing it.
Next, I will explain about the utilization of the sources by the scholars. So, Imam Maliki and Imam Hanbali were among the scholars who utilized Dharai as their source. So, why they utilized Dharai? Firstly, Imam Maliki and Imam Hanbali consider the circumstances and consequences of a situation. So, an act that clearly will cause harm is strictly forbidden. For instance, digging a deep hole on a road that everyone will use and it's not lit at night will surely cause danger to others. Thus, this action is prohibited. Next, Imam Maliki and Imam Hanbali insist if an act which has a high tendency to cause unlawful results shall be restricted. As an example, selling grapes to a winemaker is forbidden because consumption of liquor can damage the brain. Next, Imam Maliki and Imam Hanbali agree if an act that has a low probability to cause unlawful results, it is permitted because it has more pros than cons. As an illustration, the invention of the internet eases society to gain knowledge, but the internet can also be used to view pornographic materials. However, using the internet is still allowed because it rarely leads to evil. Finally, Imam Maliki himself says that repelling from injury or harm is better than gaining profits, while Imam Hanbali states that an intermediate to unlawful acts or evil deeds, whether it is makruh or prohibited, it needs to be observed based on the aim or objective itself. Besides, an intermediate to lawful acts that want to remain and permitted, it must be observed for its actual aims too.
This is from Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 104. In this verse, Allah forbade Muslims to use the word ra'ina when communicating with Prophet Muhammad SAW, even with good intention. This is because it's to prevent Muslims from following Jewish bad act, as they use the word ra'ina to insult Prophet Muhammad SAW. From Sunnah and Sahih Al-Imam Muslim, Kitab Al-Imam, Hadith number 90. Hadith number 90 is considered as a basis of Dharai, which the evil deed of insulted need to be restricted to avoid bad things from materializing if it's not being blocked.
The example of rulings deduced by scholars. The scholars had deduced many rulings by utilizing Dharai. In Malaysia, the Islamic scholars such as National Fatwa Council, JAKIM and Malaysia government has deduced many rulings by utilizing Dharai to solve Islamic problems in this country. For the first example is prohibiting non-Muslim from using words Allah. Malaysia government in a cabinet meeting on May 1986 has decided the word Allah are forbidden to non-Muslim to use it. Other than that, the word Allah, Baitullah, Kaabah and Salah has been decided as exclusive words for Muslim. The Islamic scholars from the other countries endorse the action by taken by national government regarding to this issue. Based on Saddu Dharai, the word Allah should not be misused, and this can be used to describe Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The next example is banning of the Pokemon Go games. Pokemon Go game is a mobile game which became popular in this country for the past years. Aim for this game is to collect as many characters as possible. Unfortunately, many accidents happen while playing this game. A man from Guatemala is the first person who died while playing this game. Incident clearly shows that players' safety could be in danger when they are playing the Pokemon Go game. Thus, Federal Territories Mufti Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli insists to ban the Pokemon Go based on the hukum of Saddu Dharai, as it could cause harm to other players and the others.
From various sects, Sunni Muslim brings a lot of positive implications for Muslims around the world. Islam as a religion allows knowledgeable people to issue a non-binding opinion for legal ruling on a new matter that does not have during Prophet Muhammad's era, so that all matters have solution and hukum.
Secondary sources have been produced and used by the Islamic scholars after the death of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions for cases or situations that are not stated in the Quran and Sunnah. For instance, the scholars Imam Maliki and Imam Hanbali utilized Saddu Dharai for the situation of selling grapes to a winemaker.
As a vicegerent of Allah, we shall be open-minded and respect all the opinions of the scholars about one's law. Furthermore, we must implement the hukum based on the secondary sources of Islamic law within the permitted limit and not forget Quran and Sunnah as our main sources of law.